to another episode of the Grounded Brand Podcast. We're on episode number 2 for 2026. So
there it is, man.
That's right. Thank you guys for being here, for tuning in. If you like this, if you've liked previous episodes, just ask that you could go to YouTube and subscribe or rate, give us a rating on Spotify, Apple Music. Just let your friends know about it.
Yeah.
You know, we want to be able to reach more people, and if you wouldn't mind doing that, we would greatly
sure.
appreciate it.
It all matters. It all adds up. And the algorithms of however YouTube and Spotify and all that works. So we appreciate all the support you guys get.
That's right.
We're short somebody today.
Yeah, Colton decided to bow out on us today.
Yeah, how about that, man?
So
hopefully we can figure this technology thing out.
I know, man. You know, we were wondering how to do it, and
I know.
Couldn't figure out how to get the SD card formatted right when we got here. But hey, we got it whipped, son.
We did, man. So Colton, watch out.
That's right.
We may be coming after your job.
Job might be in danger.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't want to hear no more cracks about Drew and I being out for any episodes, which I guess you're due to be out one now. So
I guess.
Enjoy it. You're not getting any more off the rest of the year.
Definitely not. So, but no, we're getting into NWTF is in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Then obviously we'll go right into the other trade shows, and then our favorite time of the year.
Time to get after them.
That's right. So with springtime coming up, turkey season still roughly probably 10 weeks away.
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah.
Depending upon where you're at in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about mindsets. Let's talk about preseason, what needs to be done, just overall preparation for turkey season.
I think that's a good topic to hit up on today.
Yeah. So, you know, we'll kind of start. I mean, we're going to cover a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
From tactics to calling to gear preparation.
Right.
So, but just start, Brandon, with the mindset, man.
With the mindset for me, I mean, it gets kicked off when the calendar flips.
Yeah.
And I guess really before Grounded even came along, that's usually January 1st is when I would start thinking turkey hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And we live in Alabama, so, you know, deer season runs all the way up through middle of February now. And for a lot of people, they're still thinking deer hunting, but that was never my case. I was always thinking about turkey hunting. And with that, it's like, what do I need to do to start preparing for it? Even though we're probably 10 or 12 weeks away, what can I do now to help set myself up to be better for when the season does start?
Right.
And so for me, my mind automatically starts thinking about preseason scouting. So yeah, I'm out deer hunting, but what am I looking at when I'm deer hunting? You know, yeah, I'm here to kill a deer, but let's spend some time thinking about where the turkeys are and where they're going to be traveling. Are they going to be in the same area? Have I seen them this year?
Right.
Have I seen any long beards? Do I expect them to be in this area or changed up a little bit?
Yeah.
And there's just a lot that goes into it. And then it goes, like you said earlier, it goes into gear prep and, you know, usually getting the calls out the 1st of January as well, too, is when I'll start getting the mouth calls out or the boot calls or wing bones out and start practicing on them as well, too. So that's...
Our wives really look forward to that part of it.
Yeah,
you know?
They do. They have a lot of patience with us sometimes.
They do. We're proud of them. Good job, guys.
Absolutely. Girls. So that's another mindset I guess we could really go into talk about as well, too.
We don't have enough time on this episode to go into that. So just, guys, if you're out there and you're married, listen to your wife.
Exactly. Now more than ever.
That's right. Get your honeydews done.
Yep.
Be on your best behavior. Do the practicing outside, you know.
Or in the car on the way to work.
Give her a massage. No strings attached.
No strings attached.
You know, so get the brownie points in now.
That's right.
Again, talking about mindset. Gotta make sure that we're prepared.
Exactly. 100%.
So when you go in to scout, you know, obviously we talked about like patterns, you know, where they're at. This year, one thing that comes to mind for me that's different than several other years is the amount of mast crop and acorn crop. Like you talk to deer hunters this year, people aren't getting pictures of deer. They're not seeing deer.
No.
You know, and in Alabama, unfortunately, this is going to make people mad when I say this, but unfortunately, we have legalized baiting.
Yeah.
You have to have a baiting license.
You do.
I don't agree with it, but it is what it is.
Right.
And a lot of deer hunters have gotten to the point where they just hunt over bait pile.
Yeah.
You know, they put a feeder in a food plot and they're not seeing deer. And it's like, guys, you're not going to see deer when there's the massed acorn crop that we've got.
Yeah.
You've got to get back to the roots of hunting. You've got to understand what type of acorns are preferred during what time of year.
Yeah.
But that's going to translate into springtime for turkey hunters too, because, you know, historically what I've seen is, you know, these turkeys early springtime will go down to the bottoms because that's where first green up is going to occur, right?
Yeah.
And then as you get up these steep big mountains that, you know, it travels up. But I don't know, and I can't say this for sure, but I kind of think these turkeys might not be in the bottoms as much because of the acorn crop that we're seeing.
They may not have to, and that was something I was thinking about as well too. If there's so much food around, why would they have to travel down as quickly as they have in the past?
Yeah,
that's something that we're going to have to. That I'm going to be focused on in the places I normally go to and scout early season is, are they higher up on the mountains?
Right.
When I'm hearing them gobble them, or am I still seeing them down in the bottoms? But yeah, that is a good point that you bring up, and I'm sure it's not just here in Alabama. I'm sure it's all throughout the Southeast that everybody's having.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep, sure is. And that one thing too, another thing is that, you know, scouting, if there is so many acorns, these turkeys may not be moving as much, you know, so looking for the scratching, all of that stuff, you might have to cover some more ground,
right?
You know, burn a little bit more boot leather
to find them,
to find the scratching,
yeah.
Especially if they're not being, you know, vocal,
right?
So keep that in mind if you're out there, especially if you're hunting public land or maybe it's a new piece of property, a new hunting club that you're in.
Yeah,
you might have to cover more ground than you're used to doing.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing that this year I've supposedly got a new place that's coming up that we're going to be able to hunt, and that's one thing I might have to get out there probably a little bit earlier than I normally would, just to try to find out where these roosting sites are, where they're going to be traveling, their loafing areas, and, you know, what kind of terrain is it? Is it a bunch of pine trees? Is it, you know, oak trees? Whatever it may be.
Right.
I'm just going to have to spend some time finding out where those turkeys are and where they're hanging out at. So
yeah,
there's going to be a lot going into it.
So one of the other things that I think about when I think about scouting is, and it's illegal here in Alabama, is preseason calling to turkeys. Illegal on WMAs.
Oh, okay.
On public lands.
I didn't realize that was even I didn't even realize that was a law.
Yeah. And so, you know, a lot of people make the mistake of calling to turkeys before the season.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's another one of those things, just like baiting is, it's argued amongst the hunting community. Right. Personally, I don't do it. Don't think that you should do it, but that's just my take on it. You know, crow calls, owl calls, locators, you know, that's a different story.
Right.
But one thing to be, you know, just prepared for and know what you're going to do before there. Don't go out there and call that turkey up to you beforehand, because at the end of the day, you're just going to educate him.
That's,
you know, and
I was going to say, that's exactly, I mean, turkey hunting in itself is hard enough as it is.
Yep.
So why would you go out there and try to educate it and make it more difficult than what it needs to be?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always been a huge proponent. I'm not going to carry even a call with me.
Yeah.
Because I don't even want to be tempted.
Oh, it's tempting too, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. When you got two strutters out there, you know, and they're right there at your truck.
Yep.
I always want to hear them gobble.
Yeah, honk the horn.
Yeah, honk the horn, or just be patient. They'll gobble on their own.
That's right.
But yeah, that's definitely preseason scouting is one of the mindsets that I typically go into think about. But
yeah, you know, and then just like anything, every year you get into the early season, turkeys are flocked up, they're henned up. You know, early season in Alabama, especially North Alabama compared to South Alabama.
Yeah,
they're still kind of figuring out the pecking order, and you know that's going to change as the spring season progresses. So going into the season, tactics will be different early season versus late season, and how you're, you know, calling, approaching a turkey, all of those things.
One thing I think is really good on that, and I've not done it, but I want to do it this year, is start making notes.
Yeah.
Before the season starts, where I see them pattern, where they're going. Not only that, but even when the season starts, early season, where have I seen them at, what worked, what didn't work, where have I noticed that there's a better population of them at, food source, they can be around food, or they go in the nest. So that's one thing I'm going to start doing this year that I haven't really done in the past that I think may help for future hunts as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of those, like, you're going to put the work in now, but you're not going to see the fruits of the labor for probably 2 years or so. But you always think in the moment, well, I'll remember.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, we ain't going to remember.
No, because it's like your mind goes to something different every single time.
Every single time. Yep.
And for me, it's impatience because I'm like, well, they were here last year. Why aren't they here now? I'm just going to go down there and set.
Yeah, that's right. And a lot of times that works out, you know. But sometimes
they don't.
It don't.
And most of the time it don't.
That's right. So you know, we talked about getting calls out and preparing, you know, practicing those, you know, get those mouth calls out ahead of time.
Yeah.
Be comfortable, be confident with them.
Yeah.
Because I can promise you, once you sit down on a turkey and you're yelping to him,
right,
and that heart's beating and your hands are sweating, it's going to come out of your mouth sounding a little bit different than it did when you were sitting in the bedroom.
That's exactly right, man.
For you, Brandon, when you think about calls and stuff, how are you preparing other than just practicing?
Yeah.
How are you preparing with your gear, your calls, those type of things before the season starts?
Yeah, that's a good question too. For me, I don't know how. I mean, some people they like using mouth calls for several years in a row, and I'm not necessarily one of those people. Don't get me wrong. I'll take my calls out. I'll clean them up. Some people like sticking toothpicks in between the reeds.
Yep.
I've done that before, so that'll be the first thing I do. I'll probably take a few of those calls out and just see if any of them are worth keeping.
Yeah.
And then if they're not, then I'll replace them. Then I'll start. I have to cut mine no matter what. And
Yeah.
none of them ever really fit my mouth or my palate.
So you're talking about the tape.
Okay. The tape
Yeah.
on the mouth call. So I'll do that and get a few of them that I'm going to run for the year prepared. And then as far as, you know, box calls, I'll try to tune those up a little bit, which I'm not a big box call guy anyways. But
Yeah.
But even on the pot calls, I'll do the same thing because it seems like every pot call has that sweet spot.
Yep.
That you always want to find, and the last thing you want to do is try to be hunting around for that when the time comes right. But you're right, man. When you got a turkey that's in close, you want to make sure that you've got your calls dialed in. You want to make sure you're confident in what calls to use.
Yep.
And even when the moment gets there, I mean, no matter how prepared you are, sometimes you still have those moments where it's like you've never done it before.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
For sure, that's what I'm going to be doing, preparing for the season. So, what about you?
Yeah, the sweet spots, especially. I'm kind of like you. I run some pot calls, I run some mouth calls. Every now and then, I'll get a wild hair and carry a box call.
Right.
But on my pot calls, it starts to me with conditioning. You know, understanding the surface and how to condition it, making sure I've got either the Brillo pads or the sand and stone. You know, in my vest, sandpaper. And learning that sweet spot on it. Yeah. I'll take a Sharpie once I figure out where that sweet spot is, and I'll mark it. Usually, I don't mark it on the playing surface itself, but I mark it on the wood. Just put a little X right there, dot, you know, and, you know, mark that sweet spot. That way I know when I put that call in my hand where that thing is, especially on a solid surface,
right?
Like a ceramic call, or maybe it's an aluminum surface or slate surface. You know, it all looks the same. And, yeah, you can tell where you've run that striker over.
Yeah.
But it just makes it a lot faster when you sit down, you're in the woods. If you've got, you know, I mark mine with a silver Sharpie.
Okay.
So you can see that super easy. And all my pots are wood. It just, you know, contrasts against that wood very well.
So you can see it easier.
Yeah. So definitely that, you know, the typical, I'm going to make my own mouth calls because I make mine. But historically before that, I would buy 4, 5, 6 mouth calls, find my top 2 or 3. You know, if they got the same tape, if they're the same cut, you know, I number them 1, 2, 3. You know, that way I know which ones I like best.
Okay.
And
yeah, I'm not that detailed.
Yeah.
I need to be, but I'm not. Hey, this one sounds good. It's going in.
Okay. Yeah. I usually try to carry at least 3 with me.
Yeah.
Just for different sounds and stuff. Carry a couple different strikers. Again, you get different sounds out of different strikers.
Right.
Even with one call, if you've got one pot with you, but you got 3 strikers, you got 3 different turkeys there.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Exactly. 3 different sounds that you can make with it.
Yep.
Yeah, those are good points, and something that everybody should really consider doing. I've never even thought about taking a Sharpie to it. That's something that would be a good idea as well, too. Well, as far as gear essentials, I know we talked about getting our calls and stuff ready. What about your clothing and all that stuff, your vest, and
Yeah.
what's some stuff you get prepared for?
So other stuff I've got in my vest, and then I'll kind of get into the clothing as well. But my vest, outside of calls and a few extra shells, is going to be my toilet paper.
Oh yeah, 100%. Can't have that without you.
Yeah, you got to have that, or your dude wipes, whatever you want on that. But that's something good to have in your vest. Something that I personally carry every time, just about every time, is going to be pruning shears.
Yeah.
Especially taking kids with us. Got to make a little blind, got to cover up, going to carry my pruning shears. I use my binoculars every single hunt, whether I'm in the woods, whether I'm glassing a field, it does not matter. I use my binoculars every single hunt.
Every time.
So making sure I've got those with me. I try to carry, a micro cloth to keep them clean, but sometimes we lose them and that type of thing.
Usually right before turkey season, I just throw my binoculars in the truck, and they're with me all the time. Because I know I'm going to be out riding, scouting. I'm going to be, even if it's just going down the road for work or whatever, and I see a turkey, I'm going to pull over and just see, hey, is that a longbeard out there, or just a pile of grass?
Right.
Because you never know what might lead to your next hunting spot.
You never know.
So
you never know. But honestly, I carry a pretty light vest. I don't take a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Candy bar or two, bottle of water,
right,
and that's it. My vest is light. I can carry one, maybe 2 pot calls. I will put a crow call, locator call in there, but I don't carry a whole lot of stuff.
I'm the same way. I go lightweight every opportunity I get. I usually got 2 or 3 pot calls, and 3 or 4 mouth calls that's with me. Toilet paper for sure is an essential.
One other thing I did think about that I do carry a lot, and unfortunately lose it every now and then, a wing.
Oh, yeah.
I like carrying a wing.
Yeah, I lost mine last year. I don't know what happened to it. I went to pull it out one morning, she was gone.
Gone, yeah. I don't know. They end up gone like that, so they just fall out easy.
I guess they do.
Yeah.
One thing we was talking to Daniel with what's his
Gross Mojo Buck.
Yeah, Mojo Buck.
Yeah,
we had him on a podcast a couple years ago, and a lot of people use bladders. I'm not one that likes to use a water bladder. I know that's big in the turkey hunting world, but for me, I like carrying a water bottle.
Yeah.
And he brought up a good point. Ever since I've been doing that, or since I heard that from him, it's made a lot of sense. He uses one of those like heavy duty plastic water bottles, like one of those smart water bottles or something like that, instead of one of the small crinky ones.
Yeah.
Because it makes a huge difference when you're walking through the woods, not hearing that bottle crack and pop and everything else. So that is something I've started. I usually have one that I'll start the year with, and I'll actually hang on to it, clean it throughout the year, and use it throughout the whole season.
Right.
At the time. So
yeah, that's a good little tip there.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I'm excited to get the season started and see how everything goes this year. But
what would you say gear wise? Is there anything specific? And there might not be, pants, shirts, socks, gloves, anything that you do different.
Man, not for me. There's not. I know there's a lot of people out there that like their own little ways, but for me, man, it's just your normal gear that you wear. Now, I will carry multiple. Well, I say multiple. Always carry extra masks with me. Always carry a pair of extra gloves with me.
Right.
In the woods. But as far as anything special, no, I would say it's pretty much the normal stuff.
Yeah. One thing that I've gotten started doing the last couple of years, and I did not do this growing up, was treating my clothes with permethrin.
Oh, okay.
It's just, man, with all the tick-borne diseases now, especially I'm drawing a blank when it comes to the name of it, but the one where it makes you allergic to red meat.
Rocky fever or
no. Anyways, that's definitely one I don't want to get.
Yeah.
And so I'll treat all of my clothes and my vest beforehand. And I usually try to do it at least once through the season, if not twice through the season, depending upon, if I've gotten wet or rained on or how many times I've hunted, things like that. But especially I treat Lincoln's clothes as well.
That's a good point. That's something I need to start doing with Bailey and mine as well, too. But what does that look like? What's that process? Is it just a spray? Is it a water?
Yeah, so you can buy. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do it, and I've done it 2 different ways. So you can buy like a pre-mixed can of permethrin, like an aerosol can, and just lay your clothes out. You spray them. Make sure you're in a good ventilated area.
Right.
You don't want to get the permethrin on your skin, so do not spray it on your skin. Clothes only. And then usually let them dry off for 4 or 5 minutes. Once they're dry, flip them over. Then I'll spray the backside of the clothes. And I'll usually do I'll do that 2 different times, sometimes 3, depending upon how much permethrin I've got left. If I've just got a little bit left in my bottle, I'll just go ahead and use it. Or you can go to like a Tractor Supply or Rural King, and you can buy like a higher concentration of permethrin and then mix it in with with water. You dilute it basically and put it in a gallon pump up sprayer. It just makes it go a lot farther.
Right.
It's a lot less, money expense. And I did that last year. I will say that there was definitely a different scent to my clothes.
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't dilute it, quite as much. I still didn't get any ticks on me either way, but my clothes had a different scent to them that I didn't really care for. Yeah. Wasn't that big a deal to me, but that's something just to think about, depending upon what you might want to do.
Now, I know a lot of guys don't wash their clothes during turkey season. I do.
Why would you, man? That's like bad luck.
I don't know, man. Maybe I just like wearing clean clothes. I don't know. But if you were going to wash your clothes, would you need to retreat after that?
So it says on there it's good for 5 to 6 washings per treatment.
Okay.
So you could wash it a few times before you would need to retreat it.
Right. I got you.
So, yeah. It lasts a pretty good while, honestly.
Where do you find it at? Just Tractor Supply?
Yeah, so if you're going to buy the pre-mix stuff, you can find it. Most hunting and outdoor stores have it. I mean, honestly, Walmart a lot of times will have it.
Okay.
Cabela's, Bass Pro. If you want the concentrated stuff that you have to dilute, you're going to have to get that from maybe a local co-op would have it, or I got mine from Tractor Supply.
Okay.
So, and then you can just Google, how to dilute it, and there's a couple of different videos out there on diluting it and concentration. So
I'll look into that, or I may just bring my clothes over and you can.
Yeah, just come over because I got a whole gallon mixed up from last year, and you'd be surprised how far a gallon goes.
All right, that sounds good.
So bring them on over.
I heard that. Well, another thing we need to talk about is getting your shotguns ready.
Yeah.
From the previous episode, we heard that somebody missed.
Yep.
And we won't go into great detail because he's not here to defend himself. But.
No, I will.
Okay, have at it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But it's very important that that you get your shotguns out.
Yep.
And even if last year you sighted it or you patterned it the way you wanted to, maybe you didn't even shoot the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you didn't shoot it doesn't mean you don't need to take the time and redo it again.
That's right.
Because there's a good chance that it's been bumped, that something has settled, whatever it may be. It's always a good practice to get your gun out early.
Even if you change shells.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe you're changing shells and you definitely got to shoot it. Every shell shoots different from brand to brand, even from box to box. I know I use the same custom hand-loaded shells.
Yeah.
Each year, but when I buy a different box, they shoot different.
They do.
So you've got to shoot that gun every single year.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And I mean, the last thing you want to do is get a turkey out in front of you, all the hard work you put into it, just to miss.
That's right.
And it's frustrating, and it can cause several misses after that. It starts playing with your head, like I noticed a few years ago with me.
Right.
So, but definitely making the time, getting out, making sure you got everything dialed in goes a long way as well too.
Yeah. So. Make sure your red dot's tight. If you're shooting a red dot, or maybe you got a scope, making sure everything's tightened down real good.
Yeah.
Your batteries, if you need to replace a battery, I know a lot of those batteries will last a long time.
Yep.
Way more than one season. My dad shoots one. We just change his battery out every year.
Yeah.
Okay, if we'll put a new battery in, it's $3 or $4, man. Like, you don't want to get in the middle of a turkey hunt and all of a sudden have a dead battery.
That's it.
That's makes for a terrible day. Make sure you've got those guns patterned.
Yeah.
Make sure you shot them and you're comfortable with them.
And make sure you got the batteries replaced in your scope. Tyler, we talk about him ad nauseum around here, but we was in a hunt in Kentucky, and he had a bird come in. We was working birds all morning, and I had my gun in my lap. Tyler was playing on his phone. And I look over, and 30 yards to my left is a longbeard.
Oh, man.
We're not prepared for it. Luckily, somehow, we're able to get our guns up in a shooting position. And I'm waiting on Tyler. He's on the trigger this time. I done killed a bird the day before, and he's on the trigger now.
Okay.
And I'm like, what is taking this dude so long to shoot? And I'm looking over, and he's saying, I can't see my red dot.
Oh, no.
See my red dot. I'm like, what? And so I'm thinking, oh, I'm fixing to kill bird number 2 right here. That's what I'm thinking. But then right before I get ready to shoot, he does change. This one got one of those red dots where you can change the color on it. He just couldn't see the red. It was so faded because the battery was so low. He switched it over to green and was able to see just barely enough to be able to squeeze the trigger off, and he was able to kill him.
Yeah.
And we got done, got over there and picked the bird up. I said, dude, when's the last time you changed the battery in that red dot? He said, I don't know, man. I don't know if I've ever changed it.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm like, come on, man.
All right, Tyler. Thanks for the education on that one.
That's right, dude. But yeah, that's one thing I've started doing after that. Every year is changing out the battery, regardless if it says how many hours you get with it or not. You just need to get in a habit.
Put a new one in it.
Put a new one in there.
Yeah.
Man. You'll be set to go.
That's a good habit to do.
It is, man.
Well, that kind of covers, gear, guns, scouting, all of that stuff. We talked about mindset to start with.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the typical, pattern for us that we go through. How do we prepare for the season? Things that we're looking at, the things that we're doing. Would love to hear from you guys. If there's something that we didn't mention, if there's something we did not talk about that you feel like is important, would love to hear that. I mean, we're still learning, always going to be learning when it comes to this, and hope you are too. So if you've got a tip, tactic, something we should think about that we're not doing, maybe something we're doing wrong. I mean, maybe we need to.
Maybe you're screaming at the TV or the radio right now.
Yeah. So just leave a comment, send us a message, shoot us an email, comment on social stuff, but just let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate all you guys' feedback. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please, like Drew spoke on at the beginning of the podcast, go to our YouTube, subscribe, like, share. You can find us on Apple Music, Spotify.
Yep.
Anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us. Obviously, you can go to our website, groundedbrand.com. It's where you can find all the hunting gear that you need, gloves, mask, clothing, vest, can all be found right there. But until next time, guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode.